Hi, my name is Brandon Holman, aka the Voicest, and welcome to High British episode 2. Yeah! No, it's been a while. I know that it's realized that it's been about a month since my last video, which is completely not my goal. I want to try to get these videos out as quickly as I can, and because I want to get through all the dialects so I can get to more fun stuff like, I don't know, future videos, spoilers. So it's been hard to get out these videos with all of the stuff happening in the world and in my life. There's a lot of changes happening right now. I gotta stop hitting that microphone. So I'm really working towards getting these out, the ball rolling with this video, and continuing through the next 4 or 5 High British episodes. But we'll see how that goes. This episode is going to be mainly about substitutions involving my American Standard IPA, which I recommend. If you have not watched my videos on the American Standard IPA, go back and watch those. I'll be using a lot of terms and a lot of symbols that if you haven't got a clue of what I'm talking about, it won't help you at all. So please go watch those videos. They're fairly short, and I think I can be somewhat entertaining. So High British, we're going to talk a lot about the vowel substitutions, so I'm going to go right into it and see what happens. Alright, so High British episode 2. Today is all about vowels, like I said. Now, the hard part about the about dialects in general is there are no rules. There are suggestions and observations. So basically, when I use this book here, the Jerry Blunt Staged Dialects book, I recommend it. I'll post a link to a possible place that you could buy them, probably on Amazon, in the description. I recommend it. I use this throughout all college, and I'm also going to be using my college education, I guess, to help with these videos as well. But the main thing that you learn in this type of book, as well as any other formal training that you get, is there are no rules, only suggestions. Meaning, so just because I say you will typically do this substitution, take this symbol and put in this one, you will not always do that because there's exceptions to every single rule out there. So that being said, let's get started. So the symbol that I have showing up there, the broad A, is quite a commonplace in the regular American Standard, but it's even more used in the British dialect. So this is the ah sound, ah, and you'll be using that quite often. And in general, in the British dialect, you'll just kind of emphasize it a little bit. They like drawing out their vowel sounds. Now, I should pause here. Like I said in my last video, this is High British. This is one specific type of British dialect. This is not saying how all British people talk, because there is no, this is how all people talk. This is just one version of a British dialect that I think is effective for if you're doing this for stage work and you're playing like a king or a person of royalty or a formally educated person. This is more of a caricature of a dialect versus what people would actually use on the street. And there's thousands of British dialects in any given part of England. You could, just like in New York City, depending on what street you're on, it's a slightly different dialect. So this is a very specific High British. That being said, the High British people using the High British dialect, I should say, tend to draw out all of their vowel sounds. It's the fanciest version of the British dialect. You'll notice that every single word is very drawn out. Just to make it fancy, like I mentioned in my last video, they tend to speak in a slower, more pitch variety and just general draw of the words. So the broad A, let's go into examples. Examples would be the American Standard pass will turn into pass. Class will turn into class. You tend to be a classy person. Grass will turn into gross. Example will turn into example. France, and can't will turn into can't. Now, for some reason, it is a common knowledge for the British dialect that they will say can't, but they will not say can. I'll talk about that later, but it's a little bit weird in that aspect of, like, you will say can't, but you'll say can't. And ah. I'll talk about that symbol next. This is also a valid point here. Other times you'll replace the symbol with the symbol, the hand a. Inconsistencies are awful. Basically, what you'll try to do when you're doing, if you're writing out this dialect in a actual thing to make a script to talk in a dialect or whatever you're planning on doing, you'll write it out in the IPA and then make the substitutions and put it into a British form. Whatever choices you make them consistent. So if you are, this is what we called in college the Happen-Hoff rule. You don't want to say a word one way and then say it that same word a different way later. So if you're gonna make a decision on these with these suggestions that I'm making in this video, make it consistent. All you can really ask. So, like I said, there are no rules. These are suggestions, and you work with them, and you kind of say it as you're writing it out in the IPA and then making that British substitution. You'll kind of say it and figure it out based on what you're saying, and then just be consistent in your choices. So this is the symbol that I'm saying. Other times you'll replace the a with the It's that hand a, commonly used in British dialects, meaning that hand a is kind of a mix of the and the a. So that broad a and the cat a. It's kind of put in the middle, and it's hand, not not but ah. So let's take some examples. American mass will turn into mass. It's not ma, it's not ma, it's ma. Kind of that middle ground. It's a very, very subtle change, but it will help you sound more British if you do these types of things. Basically, the examples that I use in these slides are pretty regularly used in the manner that I have shown. Other words you'll kind of have to figure out as you go and make decisions based on the rules that I've set here. The rules. So, the American standard, mass turns into mas. Not moss, not mass, but mass. Gas turns into gas. Plastic turns into plastic. Lamp turns into lamp. And can turns into can. Not con, it's not can, it's can. Very subtle, but important to note. So the aw sound is that backwards C, and that will almost, this is not a rule, but it will almost always be followed by that colon, which just means that it's a little bit further back in the throat and it's elongated. Basically, like I say, it's just an exaggerated aw. So let's show you what that'll sound like. So in American IPA, the word all sounds like all. But in the British IPA, it's all. Because they want to sound fancy. So it's not all, it's all. Not law, it's law. And they'll just kind of draw it out a little bit. So if they were to say, you need to follow the law, they'd be, you need to follow the law. Notice how I kind of just let it go. Law. Ought turns into ought. Remorse returns into remorse. And pause turns into pause. Oh. Kind of like if you're going for the double chin look, like, oh. Alright, so like I had in the American Standard IPA, you will almost always put the capital I, that I sound, at the end of words that have typically end with the Y. So examples would be dictionary. You don't say it dictionary, you say dictionary. It's the I kind of at the end. British people in the British High British dialect, you will end it with a little bit more emphasis on the I sound. I. sound. So probably, dictionary, really, words like that. It's just slightly more emphasized. There's no symbol change for that. It's just something to note. So in the British dialect, you will also use the fluid J a little bit more often. You do not want to overuse this. Just use it a little bit more because it will become very, very annoying. Use it too often and it just doesn't sound good. So let's take a look at some times that you could use it. The American Standard, Duke, will turn into Juke. Duke. New will turn into new. Tuesday will turn into Tuesday. Duty will turn into duty. Duty. Student will turn into student. And duplicity will turn into duplicity. Duplicity. So if you're trying to teach the art of duplicity to a student, you can only do it on Tuesdays. So that's all I got for this video. Next video, we're going to get into the diphthong substitutions, meaning that any two letters that make a sound together, like house, we'll talk about in the next video. And then the video after that, we're going to talk about the letter R, the dreaded letter R. It is very difficult, very annoying, and we'll get to it. I thought I was going to be able to include the R in this video, but it took like a whole 13 slides just to be able to be like, hey, this is the letter R. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like this video if you want to see more content. I'm gonna hopefully keep, like I said at the beginning, keep these videos flowing out a little bit quicker. Life is difficult and weird right now, but that's no excuse for me to be slacking off, I guess. So I will hopefully be finishing this video within a month. Finish this dialect within a month. We'll see if I can get that. It's a little bit tricky, but we'll see what I can do. And then the next video, or probably in either the next video or the video after that, we're gonna talk about what the next dialect is gonna be, and it should be a lot of fun. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you enjoy the weather. It's pretty nice out in general. Yes, I don't know. Weather? Small talk. So thank you, and have a wonderful day, or whatever you're going for right now. Thank you. That was a very awkward end to this video. Whatever. Bye-bye!